morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the next episode of Thrive Talk. And today we are talking about everything counts. Your state of life is the sum total of all the small little things up to this point. Yes, Gerard.
Yes, good to be back on the show. Yeah, it's literally a matter of everything in life. It's up. If you think what we've got today is the sum total of all the small inputs up to this point. Everything that you create or manufacture, if you look at a house, if somebody's building a house, they don't come there and put down complete walls. A wall is the net result or the sum total of all the individual bricks, and sometimes you look at 20, 30,000 bricks that goes into a single wall for a normal domestic house.
Absolutely.
It's a very profound, but I think a very overlooked concept as well, which does have a direct and a consistent impact on everybody's life, every aspect of your life, and yet people are oblivious to the reality of it and also the impact that it does have ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's different areas of a person's life. You know, firstly we're talking about mental, then we're talking about physical, then we're talking about business life. And everything adds up. Like you just said now, every single thing adds up to your end result. And whether that end result is positive or negative, all depends on the small little things that happened along the way.
Yes, we can talk about physical things, like we've given the example of a brick wall. If you want to build a brick wall, the inputs that are required are 30,000 individual bricks, and you're going to have to lay them individually.
Yes.
Before you get there. Or it can be something else, more emotional or not so tangible. If you look at the outcome of a soccer game, the ultimate score in the end of the game is the sum total of all the goals that you've scored during the match.
And everything that you did wrong and everything that you did right, like the Springboks did on Saturday, everything that they did wrong gave them the end result.
Yes, that's still hurting. And everything that the All Blacks did right gave them their end result.
Yeah, so you know, there's so many things that you can actually talk about with regards to this, and mentally you make small decisions every single day that has a massive impact on the end of your day. And we spoke about it earlier. Let's say, for instance, that you're driving to work and you've got this guy that cuts in front of you. What's your automatic reaction?
No, you get angry and you get all worked up, and you might be busy with a nice conversation in your head, playing off, thinking about something constructive, when this guy cuts in, and you drop your line of thought altogether, and now you're angry.
And sometimes you can't even remember what you thought about, because this overwhelms your complete life for that day. And like you said, you go through the rest of the day. When you get to work, everybody accounts for it, and when you get home, you kick the cat and you slap the wife. The thing is, people they don't take charge of those things. They are almost in a recipient state. So in other words, they receive the state of emotion out of that event. They're not taking charge over it. So this guy cut in front of him, his natural inclination is to now be angry, and now he spends the rest of the day sucking it up. He camps there for the rest of the day, instead of realizing that, listen, I'm feeding myself poison here. I'm the only one that's going to be impacted negatively by that, and obviously all the people around me that I'm also sharing my poison with. It doesn't have to be like that. I don't have to accept it. You can take charge of the situation and you can decide to change it. Yes.
But it takes discipline, and I think this is where most people are missing it.
Yes.
It takes awareness. You need to become aware of that.
I just want to stop you there. I believe that you've got a little test for everybody, a 1-minute test.
Yes, just to demonstrate your inability to
just to change your mind easily, and the things that you become aware of, you remain focused on that. And the test is basically this. For the next 60 seconds, and you must now also collaborate with us. Yeah, you must participate, and no cheating. For the next 60 seconds, you are not allowed to think about a pink elephant. Okay, so that's the test. So I'm going to test you for 60 seconds. You can think of anything but a pink elephant. All right, so if you can start now. And what comes to mind, Willie?
Pink elephant.
A pink elephant.
Actually, your elephant with the pink toenails in the tree.
Yes. So you go and suss it out from the camouflage. And that is typically how your mind functions. The things that you become aware of, you cannot think in the inverse. You cannot think in the negative state of that, or the opposite side of it. So if you become aware of a pink elephant, and now you're trying to not think about the pink elephant, that's going to be the only thing that's prominent in your mind is this pink elephant, and how you try to devise means and ways how not to think of it just brings you closer to thinking of that.
Yes, absolutely.
So you get stuck in that.
Absolutely. So, if you just change your direction slightly, you will, and small little changes on a daily basis,
Yeah,
end result is going to be completely different.
Yes, it is, and it's that whole concept of small incremental steps, and that's coming back to the pink elephant scenario. Is if you don't take charge, your life will accumulate small incremental steps to eventually give you a net result, which might be an undesirable result, but there it is nonetheless. Because you never take charge, you never decide to give those little small inputs, you never take charge of the individual inputs, you just allow them, let them be, and they all accumulate to an undesirable end result.
And we can use small degrees as an example. And let's say we're all in a desert somewhere.
Yeah, so if you want to get out of that desert, and if you take a compass bearing, for argument's sake, you can kind of suss out where you are. Compass bearing say you need to head in that direction, and you're going to walk for say a week to get to a destination, back into civilization. But if you are out 3 degrees, I mean, how much is 3 degrees? It's that side around the bush instead of this side around the bush.
Yes.
Again and again and again. After a week, you're going to miss that town by 100 miles.
And stay in the desert.
And you're stuck in the desert. So that is the concept that people must realize, is that everything adds up.
Yes.
Every little thing adds up. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. Every little incremental thing that happens each and every second on each and every aspect of your life accumulates and eventually give you your net results. In other words, and that's your opening statement, your life now as it is the current net result of this whole equation up to this point.
Up to this point.
And after listening to this video, it's just going to carry on, also accumulating to ultimately give you your next end result at that point in time, and it carries on like that.
And if you currently don't have a desirable result, then obviously you're going to have to move a little. And you only have to do a little bit every single day to get you to a different desired result.
Yeah, and I think one of the most common examples that most people might be able to relate to is trying to go on a diet. So in other words, if your current physical state is not your ideal state, it is not the desired result that you've got, then you must realize, number one, it was me that got me here. Mm-hmm. Because of your habits or your lack of discipline or whatever the case might be.
It's nobody else's fault.
Exactly. So it's taking ownership, but then also if you want to...
And now I've got a picture of somebody with a plunger put it into your throat.
Yeah, it's each and every little piece of chip is adding up. It's like the one guy, his wife was asking him, and they say, honey, does this new dress of mine makes me look fat? So he replied, he said, no dear, it's the hamburgers, it's the ice cream, it's those chocolates It's not the dress. Not the right answer that you wanted, but the point is that condition is the net result of all the small little incremental inputs. So, and the thing is, we are slack and we ill-disciplined, so we allow us just a little ill-disciplined behavior now this time, and again now, and again a little bit later, forgetting that all those things add up to this ultimate undesirable outcome.
Yes.
So if you want to lose weight, or if you want to become fit, or whatever, you will have to realize that there are certain inputs required to do that. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people are making, especially in diets, is for most part of the year they're eating whichever way they please, and then around about this time of the year, October, November, is all of a sudden they wake up, but listen, I can't look like this on the beach during the summer holidays, and now in 2 months' time they want to get rid of all the excess weight that they've gained in 9 months' time. So the odds are stacked against you, and it's sum total of all those little sins that adds up.
No, and we can relate it back to our business lives, because daily and weekly habits give you your end result.
Yes.
And what you need to do is you need to do certain things on a daily basis. One of the biggest things is to grow your list.
Yes.
Grow your list of contacts, grow your list of potential customers, potential clients, whatever the case might be, because traditional business, online business, networking, nothing of it is different. Without new customers, without new clients, without new people to talk to, your business is dead, and you will still have the same net result. So what you need to do is you have to change your weekly and your daily habits, and it starts by just growing a list on a conscious level, growing your list of contacts on a daily basis. So that means that you do not drive past that pamphlet next to the road, because that's a potential new client.
Exactly.
That's a potential new contact. You know, and we get caught up in so many things during the day that we miss all these opportunities to change our lives completely. And it's those small little things that will make a huge impact on your business and on your life. So growing that list, and then growing the list is nothing. Contacting those people is probably the biggest step and the biggest fear for people to do.
Yes.
So start off by saying, I'm going to contact 2 people on my list on a daily basis. I'm going to contact 3 people on a list on a daily basis. And that's what you need to do. If you don't start taking those steps, it's never ever going to happen. And it happens to so many people that I know in traditional business, in networking, in online businesses, everywhere. They just stop talking to people. They stop building that list. And sometimes you will only get to a person on that list in 6 months' time or 8 months' time, but it doesn't matter, as long as you take those little steps all of the time and get you to a certain point. And then, of course, the follow-up. The follow-up. So many people talk to people that first time, but they never bother to follow up. And everybody will say, in traditional business, in normal business, that most of your success lies in the follow-up.
Yes, exactly. And it's statistically spoken, very, very few people are signed up or signing a deal on the first contact.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the 3rd, 5th, 7th contact, and I think 7 used to be the most prominent figure in terms of the number of contacts you need to go through. It's in the 7th conversation that you have with that person. So follow-up is huge. I mean, and yeah, just to go through those again, coming back to the core concept is, if you sit with an undesirable result now in terms of your business growth, you must go back and look at those root causes, the core inputs that's required. Coming back to the list, how do you get to a list of 3,000 people, individual by individual? You start to write down the first 10.
Let's go back to an elephant.
Yes, how do you eat an elephant?
Piece by piece.
Exactly, small little lady portions, but there you go, just keep on going. And that's how you grow your list
3,000 people is the sum total of 3,000 individual names that you wrote down. So you need to start somewhere, build the list, but I think here's the message of this conversation today is your consistency. So in other words, if you slack and you go back to your old habits where you never bothered to build a list on a daily basis, it is out of your mind. So in other words, no longer thinking about the pink elephant.
Out of sight.
Yes. So get that pink elephant back into your mind. That listen, make a conscious decision on a daily basis. Even if you add 5 names, 2 names, it's still growth.
Yes.
It is that small degree. 2 names a day in 5 years' time can make a couple of thousand names worth of a difference on your name list.
Absolutely.
2 names a day. And the same thing with contacting people. You got the intention of you want to contact somebody, but if you look at your list, I mean, you need to start somewhere. You need to commit to contacting 5 people a day just to work through your list.
And talking about contacting people is write yourself a script. You know, even in the beginning, if it sounds like you're reading it off the script and that person thinks that you're the biggest idiot on earth, you know, phoning you and they can clearly hear that you're reading, but that's a start. And you have to get through that process of feeling comfortable, of talking to people and how do you interact with people and so on. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. You know, and take emotion out of it.
Yes.
Because I think that's where most people struggle, because they put emotion into it. What is this person going to think about me, and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It all just matters what you are doing at the end of the day to move forward to the next stage. So you need to consider carefully every little thing that you do on a daily basis, because that's going to impact your end result.
Exactly. And it's from the things you think about, the things you allow yourself to think about, the things you physically do, the things you eat, the hours you sleep or the hours you don't sleep. Every little thing adds up. And I think that's the message. Translating it back to your business is the business results is a sum total of every little thing you do or you fail to do.
Absolutely. So get rid of that pink elephant, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you.